about halfway between the 47 and 48. So, ready? Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Doniphan football. We're already underway here. They're playing the Kelly Hawks, and Kelly's got a 3rd and 10 and a wobbly pass down the field. And Don's with us. Oh, had a chance to intercept it, but couldn't quite come up with it there. Was Jordan White, but that's going to make it 4th down. And that one was a lame duck up there. Dalton for the Dons to get an interception there, but couldn't quite do it. But they did hold here, and they're going to force a punt. The first couple of plays before we got on here, they had a couple of. The first play they had a illegal procedure penalty, and set them back 1st and 15. Then a couple of running plays, only netted about 4 yards, and then the Dons hold on 3rd down. So they're going to get the ball here early in the first quarter, and the punt is going to bounce about the 44-yard line, take a good hop, and it's going to roll dead inside the 30, about the 28, 29-yard line, and that's where the Dons will get their first possession. Glad to have you with us tonight. We are up and running live on YouTube, our first live game for you. And if you're out there and you've got us on, you know anybody might not know we're on, let them know to get the Current River Broadcasting on YouTube, and they can watch the game live here tonight. I'm Keith Bowman. Dalton Pennington is alongside. I'm glad to have Dalton back with me tonight here. We are at Doniphan, and the Dons did a good job on the first set of downs there on defense, and we'll see what they can do on offense, Dalton. It's 1st down at the 29-yard line. And looks like quarterback keeper, and he's going to be stacked up at just about the line of scrimmage, and that was Gavin Thompson, as that was a straight run all the way from the quarterback position there. And they actually lost about a yard, so they'll make it 2nd down and 11. Kelly wearing white uniforms trimmed in maroon, and there's some gold on the outskirts of the trim of their numbers. They have maroon numerals. They have a record of 3-2 on the season. And the Dons come in 0-5. In the shotgun, Thompson's going to take it to the other side, force backwards. Now he's going to get it back up to about the original line of scrimmage. And 2 plays out of the shotgun and 2 quarterback runs. And they haven't gotten much out of that yet.
Yeah, that's going to be a loss of 3 on the 2 plays back-to-back.
I'm sorry. That's a 24-yard line.
Yeah,
25.
He's a little further back. Like you said, they had a good defensive stop against Kelly, drew that offsides penalty right out of the gate, and put Kelly back -5, and then Erhan was able to get him back to the original line of scrimmage, and Kelly had to punt it off. So hopefully Doniphan can get the ball moving. They had a good defensive series.
Hunter Roberts in at quarterback now. He fades back, and he's going to be stacked up, and another loss back to about the 20-yard line. I don't know if he was a bad snap or he just didn't handle it cleanly, and that threw off the rhythm of the play there. It looked like it was going to be a pass. So the Dons, on their first possession, lose about 6 yards. And the last game that I done, Charleston, there were so many negative plays. They got to figure out a way to get the ball north and south. The punt almost blocked, and it's going to be a short one. And it's going to bounce in the Dons' favor up to about the 50-yard line, and they're going to down it there. Number 40, Kobe Vermillion, almost blocked that punt. And I think he affected the punt. I don't know how far it went. And now they lay the ball down at the 48. I don't know.
I think they're going to say that it hit the back heel of that Doniphan player. I'm not sure. I didn't catch the number of it, but it looked like he kind of tried to spin out of the way, and I think he made a little contact with it there just in front of the 50.
Okay, well, both teams are 3 and out, but Kelly has reversed the field position here big time.
Yeah.
They've got it in the Dons' territory at 48-yard line. Their quarterback is Christian Worley, and we've seen him throwing in pregame warm-ups, and he can let her fly. I can tell you that right now. Good spirals. He's going to hand it off into the backfield, coming out to the outside, cutting back in the middle, and finally tackled at about the 38, 39-yard line. That is going to be close to a first down.
Ball carrier number 12, Evan Erhan.
That was Erhan again. He has carried the ball all 3 times that they have run the football. And he got about 9 there, almost 10. They're going to say it's second down.
Good gain on that play, making it second down with 1 yard to go.
Worley will get under center. Erhan in the back of an I formation behind Worley. Worley takes the snap, going to hand it to Erhan again. He goes over to the right side, and good defense by the Dons as he does not get the first down. That was second and less than a yard. And I believe that was...
That's going to be Michael Turner, 56.
I don't know about you, Dalton, but so far I think he's been the Dons' best defensive player. We sure call his name a lot when it comes to the tackles, and he's been doing a good job. So that backs it up. It's almost 3rd and 2 after being second and less than a yard. And we'll see if Kelly wants to run the football again here on 3rd and short yardage. Worley's been under center all of their plays so far. They have wideouts on each side, and I formation in the backfield. Hand it to Erhan again. And he sidesteps a defender, gets through the line, and he's still on his feet. And, no, I'm sorry, that's number 21. I thought that was 12. That is Christian Williams, and he just keeps breaking tackles. And the Dons have had trouble making tackles, even when they get 2 or 3 guys around the ball, and that happened there, and they get the first down. And they move it down to about the 23-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 on the Dons' 23. That's the first down of the game. Worley will take a snap and another illegal procedure penalty against
That's going to be number
Kelly.
73, going to jump early there.
So that'll make it a 1st and 15, and that happened in the first series, and it really helped the Dons out, and we'll see if that happens here again.
On the 28-yard line.
Williams, who got that first down, comes out of the game, and Erhan back in at tailback. 1st and 15, ball back at the 28-yard line. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first quarter, no score. Worley takes the snap.
It's going to be handed off to Erhan on the right side. He's going to gain it for about 5. Had a little bit of an opening, but the Dons filled it pretty quickly. And Erhan's going to be stuffed back at the original line of scrimmage.
Number 12.
So he did pick up about 4 or 5 yards on that play. And Dalton, I just got a note from Matt.
Saw that.
Did you get it?
Yep.
We're not live anymore, folks. So you know that by now. So trying to get the kinks worked out. This is the first game that we've tried to go live, so hopefully maybe next week it'll be better. By the way, the Dons are back home again next week against Chaffee. Play clock down to 7 here, and they're just now getting up to the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd and 11 from the 24-yard line. Worley in the shotgun. Going to fade back, roll out to the right side, and his pass is deflected, knocked down by Max Torres. He was trying to get that pass to Alex Swope out over near the right sideline, and even if he would have caught it, I think he would have run out of bounds, just a couple of yard gain. So that's going to make it 3rd and 11. And that was the first time that they have been in the shotgun. And I would think here with well, they may have been in the shotgun a while ago when it was 3rd down in the first series too. But he's going to set up in the shotgun, and most likely going to be a pass here.
Going to have 5 spread out here.
Yep, nobody in the backfield. He's back there by himself. See if the Dons can get some pressure on him. A little bit of a high snap. He's going to throw it out to the sideline. The ball caught, and the runner's going to be down out of bounds about the 6 or 7 yard line. And that Hunter Roberts made that tackle. He was playing too far off him.
Yeah.
Left him way too much room, and that's the reason that they ended up getting the first down. So Kelly, in their second possession, threatened to take the lead with 5 minutes and 31 seconds to go in the first quarter. Ball will be marked at the 7-yard line.
1st and 10, Kelly.
Worley will be back under center. Takes a snap, hands it to Erhan. Erhan finds a hole and gets down to just inside the 5-yard line. And stacked up again, Michael Turner with another tackle for the Dons. And they kept him from getting in on that play. It's going to be 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line.
I think Erhan, he a little bit quicker than his lineman. I think he ran into the back, and he had
did.
to try to push him out of the way, make a little bit of room, and that gave Turner time to step up and keep it for a small gain.
You'll see the good running backs, even in the NFL and college,
Yep.
they wait on those linemen to make those blocks.
Yep.
Hand off again to Erhan. He's going to take it out to the right side. He gets outside and crosses the goal line for a touchdown. Thought he was going to try to cut it back inside, but it was stacked up there, so he took it outside. And Kelly scores on a 4-yard touchdown run from Erhan to take a 7-0 lead.
Evan Erhan carrying the ball across.
That 3rd and 11. Got to get up on those receivers a little bit more. They would have been so far out there, they probably couldn't have kicked a field goal there if they could have stopped them on that play, but they end up giving up the first down, and Kelly eventually takes it in for a touchdown, takes the lead with 4:46 left. And a soccer-style kicker here trying to get the extra point, and it is up, and it's good. And that is Ty Powers. That's the first soccer-style kicker I think I've seen in high school, at least this year anyway. I don't know if they have soccer over at Kelly or not. By the way, if you don't know where Kelly High School is, it's over at Benton, Missouri. Actually, it's east of Benton off of Interstate 55 over there at the Benton exit. The school is about 3 or 4 or 5 miles down. I forgot which highway that is, but it's east towards the Mississippi River. And Powers will tee it up at the 40-yard line and kick it off. And Dalton, the Dons have just got to figure out a way to get some movement with their offensive linemen to get some positive yardage. And again, the last time we done the game together, they were trying too much. I thought too much. They were running east and west instead of going north and south,
right.
And that gives the defense time to get up there and just run that ball up the gut and see if you can't get some offense or some positive yardage. There's the first one they didn't get. They went -6, I believe, in the first possession.
Yeah.
McGuire Balcom's going to be deep. He's going to be standing at about the 13-yard line to receive this kick from Powers. Kelly's just taking a 7-0 lead, and the ball is kicked short. And that is that Reynolds over there? Picks it up.
No one's Zerwanka, I think is who that is.
Zerwanka.
Yeah.
And he takes it out to the 46-yard line. He picked it up, I think, about the 30, as they didn't kick it deep. And it looked like he'd done that intentionally. I don't know if he did or not, but that's going to give the Dons very good field position. And we'll see if they can do anything with it. They've had a hard time all year long getting positive yards. Gettings going to be centering the ball to Hunter Roberts is in there at quarterback.
Yeah, we've already had one change at quarterback. Had Gavin Thompson was originally taking the snaps.
Yeah, and we'll probably see Jordan White before the night's over as well.
You're probably right.
Coach Stout probably just trying to see who can get something going, and if somebody can kind of take it and run with it and get a little bit done, they might get the bulk of the playing time.
Right.
Roberts under center. Turns around, hands it off to Max Torres, and he's going to be tackled at the 42-yard line. And that number 17, Drew Dernberger, and that was a nice play, but there was nobody there to block him. I mean, he just come in unblocked, and and again, we're going east and west. We didn't go up the field with it.
Right. Who made that tackle? What was the
Dernberger.
What was his number?
17.
17. Okay.
So that makes it 2nd and about 14. This time reverse play, handed off to
Trey Mills.
And he does a nice job there to get the ball back up just past the original line of scrimmage. They had him in the backfield for another loss, but he gains about 5 yards on that play. And that is going to make it 3rd down and 9 for the Dons at the 47-yard line, at their own 47. They got to get to almost down to the 43 of Kelly to get a first down. Roberts will be in the shotgun. Takes a snap, Hands it, trick play. Mills throws it, and a little too high. And they had that covered even if he would have caught it. Dernberger was out there on Torres. And they sniffed that one out pretty good. He probably would have been about the line of scrimmage even if he would have caught it.
Right.
So that's going to be 4th down and 9, and probably the Dons will be forced to punt here. Well, I don't know. It's hard to say so far. I can't tell who is in the huddle. Are they going to go for it, Dalton? On their side of the field here? They're just now setting the play clock.
Got the ball set, so we got the play clock started, so they got time. I think they're
Yep. Well, this is probably going to – they did this to Charleston. He's going to punt it. He's up close. And there's a timeout called. They did that a few times at Charleston with the Reynolds. Isn't that Reynolds?
Kyle Reynolds, yeah.
Instead of being all the way back 15 yards, he was back like he was almost in the shotgun, maybe a little bit farther back quarterbacking, and he punted the ball.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that turned out the way Coach Stout wanted it to. It looked like there was some confusion about who was supposed to go out, and he sent 2 kids out, and there's probably 22 seconds left on the play clock, and he calls the timeout. So
Doniphan did call the timeout.
Yeah, so I'm assuming he didn't have the right
guy,
people out there, and he didn't seem very happy when he turned to talk to his boys there.
Well, they're lining up like they're going to go for it here, but I'm almost sure they're going to punt the ball here. I don't see either one of the kids that have been in a quarterback back there right now.
No.
And Reynolds, I think, is going to take the snap.
Well, Kelly's got a guy back deep. Yeah,
that's a short snap there.
Oh,
and
they're going to
get bounce. Roll. And that ball's going to roll down, and they're going to finally pick it up, and they're going to get some yardage out of it. The Dons should have downed that ball. Somebody should have got on that. And he's going to take it all the way. He's at the 40, the 35, 30, 20. And you have got to be kidding me. He picked that ball up inside the 5-yard line. And the Dons acted like they didn't know what to do. You got to touch the ball. Wow. That is a very bad mental mistake right there on the Dons' part. What number was that to run that back?
Number 16, Elvin Ebert.
Yeah, he was going to let it go, and then he seen it was going, and there wasn't any Dons around.
Well, we had some guys on the right side here. I think when Coach Stout looks back at that film, he's not going to be very happy. He's got a bunch of guys that gave up on it on the right side, and Ebert, I think, was just going to try to down it, and he looked up and had a whole way to run down the left side, and I think he just picked it up and took off, knowing that he was going to pick up major yardage for it. The Dons have to down that there.
Powers with the extra point try, and it is good. And that gives Kelly a 14-0 lead. I mean, they had them backed up inside the 5-yard line right there. If one of the Dons just reaches down there, if they just kick the ball, all they had to do was touch it.
Yeah. Just make contact with it. And like I said, Ebert looked like he was going to give up on it. And then he looked up when he turned back around and realized he had that whole left side open. Wow. He just picked it up and took off with it. He had about 1 or 2 guys to beat, and then it was
that's
easy sailing after that.
A little lackadaisical there.
Yeah.
I mean, and it almost looked like the Doniphan players didn't know that they had to touch the ball for it to be down. I mean, well, you live and learn, hopefully, because that was a bad one there. I mean, goes from being over 95 yards away from their goal line.
I mean, they got the bounce.
To 14-0.
That's right. Reynolds kicked that from about the 45 or so.
Yeah, he got a really good bounce.
And it got the courtesy bounce and everything, rolls all the way down inside the 5. And he ends up picking it up and running it back for a touchdown.
Well, Balkum is back deep again. The Dons started out decent here, but now they find themselves down by 2 touchdowns. We've still got 2:56 to go in the first quarter. Powers kicks it deep this time. Balkum's going to field it about the 18-yard line, out across the 30. And he's going to be tackled about the 35-yard line, so about a 17-yard return. And again, not bad field position for the Dons, but got to get the ball up and down the field, not across.
Right. Well, let's see if we do anything different here. Who we're sending out for quarterback?
Ball is marked actually at the 36-yard line. And it's Hunter Roberts in there again.
Yep.
Man in motion, hands it off to Max Torres, and this time he goes up the field with it. And a good gain, about 4 yards on that play. You can get some yards if you take it that way. They're marking it just short of the 40, so it's going to be about second and a long 6. You do that 3 times, you got a first down.
Yeah.
I mean,
Second down and 6 to go.
And you keep the ball away from the other team too if you do that. Roberts under center. Gettings hikes it to him. Hands it off, and Trey Mills with a nice run over the 50-yard line, still on his feet. And he gets down to about the 42-yard line, and again, they went right up the middle inside the tackles instead of going outside, because every time they run outside, they had trouble blocking the Kelly linebackers and defensive backs.
Right.
They marked the ball at about the 43-yard line of the Kelly Hawks.
Trey Mills doing a good job keeping his feet moving there after he gets that first contact, breaks 1 or 2 tackles.
This time they're going to go the other way with it, and good run again. Now good defense there, good tackle by number 40.
Number 2.
That is Kobe Vermillion, and that was gained about a little over 3 yards. It looked like that. Was that Gavin Thompson?
Yes, Gavin Thompson.
Looked like he was going to have some room to run there, but that time he took it outside, which he's a little smaller back, so he's probably got a little more speed. But
you really would have liked to seen him keep that right until Vermillion got up on him and then cut to the outside. He cut a little bit early, I think.
Mills in motion, gets the handoff, and he takes it down to about the 35. And that's going to put him probably about a 3rd and 3 maybe.
Gaining about 4 or 5 for Trey.
The Dons on the move here. This is definitely their best drive so far.
Right.
And that play there, I think that was the same play that they ran the last time Mills ran it. Didn't get quite as much, but he still got about 5 yards. That's a good positive play. Ball is marked at the 35. They got to get down to about the almost the 32-yard line.
Got 10 seconds left on the play clock. We're under 10.
And right up the middle, and I believe that's Reynolds, and he bulls his way down close to the 30-yard line. I believe that was Reynolds, wasn't it?
Let's see who comes up. Yeah, that's going to be Kyle Reynolds.
And that should be another first down. Oh, do we have a flag? Oh, they're calling. I don't know what that call was. What is a call like this when they go like this?
It's in the book. We're getting some help
I
from
don't
the box
know.
up
I don't
here.
know
It's
if
in the
I've
book.
ever seen that in a college or a pro game.
I was writing stats. I missed it. I didn't even know there was a flag on the play, so I missed the talk. Yeah, I don't know.
Is that the players getting too close to the field? Is that what it is?
I've
never seen that call
like
before.
he's telling them to back
up. I don't know.
Well, that's a big penalty. They run that ball all the way down to the 16-yard line.
Is that going to be a
15-yarder, whatever it was?
15-yarder, okay. Well, that's going to be the 25th yardage worth of penalties for Kelly.
Well, the Dons got it at the 16. Hunter Roberts turns, hands it off to Mills. Same play, and this time he's stacked up.
Yeah, Kelly's snuffing
They got
that
that
one out
figured
now.
out
They
now.
got that figured out. Tried to go something else now.
They lost a couple on that one, I believe.
Yeah, I gave him a loss of 2. Let's see where the spot actually is.
About the 17?
I guess they're going to, about a loss of 1, I guess.
Well, it's 2nd and 11. Down to 10 seconds left in the first quarter. We'll see. Dons may not get a playoff here. Down to 5. And Roberts turns and looks. And they're not going to get it off. Well, they let him go. And Mills does the same play again. And this time he does get a little bit of yardage. That looked like to me the clock went out before they hiked the ball there. But they're going to allow the play to stand.
I think so.
And the ball down to about looks like the 12-yard line.
So that's going to be Trey Mills with a gain of what, 4? We're going to call that 4 or 5? What are we going to call that?
They were at the 17, weren't they?
Yeah, I can't tell at this angle.
It looks like it's at the 12 to me, but I'm not sure.
Well, rounding out the first quarter there, rounding out the first quarter there, Trey Mills is going to have 24, 28 yards total for the Dons. That's really kind of our bright spot. Had 2 good returns for the Dons. Nolan Zerwalka, a 17-yard return, and McGuire Bauckham with about a 12 or a 13-yard return. Hunter Roberts on defense up there in tackles for the Dons. He's got 2 already, and Michael Turner with 3. Now for Kelly, Erhan is doing a lot of work for him, and then Elvin Ebert with a 95-yard return for a touchdown, and Erhan's at 26 yards already with a touchdown. So Doniphan hopefully got something cooking here. Hopefully we run into the second quarter and we just get started with a touchdown here and keep it a 1-touchdown game.
Seems like every home game we've had trouble with the officials having problems, and they have not moved the ball to the other end.
Side. Yeah, both teams are gone. Yeah,
but the official was over talking to the Kelly head coach about something. I don't know.
Maybe
he may have thought that the time run out before they run the play too, because I thought it did. But it looks like the ball's going to be at about the 12-yard line.
Yeah, and another thing that, before we get started here in the second quarter, the Dons are going to have to start taking advantage. Kelly's already at 25 yardage worth of penalty, that big 15-yarder, and they've started 2 drives now with back-to-back false starts in each one of those drives. So if the Dons can capitalize here on some mistakes by Kelly, they're going to be in a pretty good spot moving forward in the game.
Well, they do spot the ball at about the 12-yard line. And it's going to be 3rd down and 5. It looks like they got to get to about the 7-yard line.
I'm getting it.
They say 3rd and 4 on the clock, but I actually think it's got about a 3rd and 5.
Clock's not coming on here.
They're having a little trouble with the clock getting the time set for the second quarter.
Is the switch on? That's part of the problem most of the time.
Still having trouble here. By the way, I think I forgot to say the score's 14-0 for Kelly's got the lead here at the end of the first quarter. They scored in 2 consecutive possessions, but the killer to me was the kickoff return for about 96 yards for a touchdown that the Dons could have downed inside the 5-yard line, and they didn't do it. And then the player for Kelly picked it up and ran it back 96 yards, and the Dons could have very easily backed them up inside their own 5-yard line.
Okay, got it.
Now they got the 12 minutes on the clock, and ready to start the second quarter.
Yeah.
The Dons need a touchdown here. For one thing, it'd give them a little bit of confidence.
Right.
And they did all right on that. On defense so far. Same play again, and he's not going to get the first down.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, you run it a few times,
right?
Even though it's worked sometimes, but I mean, run it the other side or something.
Right.
Well, they're going to go for it. It's going to be 4th down and about 3 yards for first down. And the ball is spotted at the 10-yard line.
I'm going to have to hurry getting those plays in. Right there, that was a slow exchange. Don's around 10 seconds off the play clock.
Yep,
got it under 10 now.
Just
and
now
then
getting
to the
up
line
to the line of scrimmage. And that makes them have to rush, and it is 4th down. Pitch to Max Torres, and he is going to be tackled way back near the 20-yard line. And here we go running east and west again. Been working, running north and south, and that's going to turn it over on downs.
Number 17, Drew Sternberger.
I don't know. I have a hard time understanding that, but
in that situation, I think we like to see. I mean, I like to see, and I'm kind of partial to him. Kyle Reynolds take that ball right up the middle.
Yeah, you seen what he's done a while ago. He just,
just let him kind of bull his way up there. Him or Alex Harris, either one. That's one we've seen chip away 4 or 5 yards at a time.
Well, if you know you're going to go for it on 4, when it was 3rd and 5 and you didn't get it, run it twice with him. He's probably going to get the 5 yards in 2 runs.
He may not get you the 5 the first time, but he'll have you 5 total when it's all said and done. I agree with that 100%. Well, let's see what Kelly can do here.
Worley back at quarterback, hands it off, and Max Torres and
That's going to be Michael.
Tristan Gettings?
No, it's 50. Is that 58 or 56?
58, I believe.
Okay, 58. Who is that? Is that
Tristan
Dylan?
Gettings, isn't it?
I thought Gettings was 70.
No,
No, 58. You're right. That is Gettings. I'm sorry.
Michael Turner.
I think he's tackled him right at the line of scrimmage there. He might have got a yard.
Right.
So, for the most part, the Dons, that one drive is the only touchdown the defense has given up.
Right.
They're still going to look back, even if they get back in the game, at that kick return, I'm afraid. Worley in the shotgun. Takes a snap, going to hand it off, and that is Erhan again, and he breaks a couple tackles and gets up to about the 22, 23-yard line.
Did you see who made the tackle there? Was that?
No, I didn't see it.
Okay.
I was trying to see what number it was that ran the ball. He's going to be about, looks like about 4 or 5 yards short. So here's a chance for the Dons to get off the field. But with Kelly, what I've seen so far, you got to worry about them throwing the ball as well on third down and 5.
I don't think they're going to have a problem even throwing down second, third. I think they'll kind of throw wherever. Watching him during warm-ups, he backed all the way up 55, 60 yards and had no problem dropping it in there.
Fakes the handoff, rolls out, and he's being chased out of the pocket. He's going to throw it down the field and almost intercepted again, this time by Devlin Cooper. That's the second interception the Dons should have had.
Hit off the hands, and you'd like to see him come up with it, but we didn't have that.
That is going to make them punt the football here. That's going to be fourth down. They're not going to go for it back in their own territory. So a good defensive stand by the Dons.
The only positive yardage gained by Kelly there was that little run by Erhan, 4 or 5 yards. Dons did a good job of sniffing that play out right there, but like you said, we've batted 2 balls down instead of going for the interception, it seems like. He
had some room to turn around and run if he'd have caught that too. And I can't see the number of their punter. We'll get it here in a second. Snap's good. The Dons almost get it. Ball's punted up, and it bounces across the 50-yard line and goes out of bounds just over the 50-yard line.
Yep.
That is
number 2. Say about at the, let's see where he's going to mark that. He's going to mark that at about the 49.
Number 2 is their punter, Landon Haas. And they mark it at the 48, 49, is that what you said?
Yeah, about the 49-yard line. 51 yards to go here. We're in this best spot we've been in all night. I'd like to see if we can get a touchdown here.
Get that ball running north and south again.
Yeah.
I know I hate to keep beating a dead horse, but every time all year long it seems like they've tried to run the ball wide to either side of the field. They haven't got any blocks to free that guy.
Right.
You can't lay it all on the running back. They got to get somebody blocking for him. Hand off to Mills, the same play again, and he's going to get about a yard. That's a misdirection play that they run, and they run a lot of those. If they come from the left side, right side, they run it to the left side. If they come from the left side, they run it to the right side.
Well, this is pretty telling. You got Trey Mills on his first carry, 6 yards, 15 on the second, 4, loss of 1. Loss of 1.
Going down instead of.
So we're headed in the wrong direction. So
he did gain 1 on that one. His second and 9.
He gained 1 there, yeah.
And they hand it off to him again. This time he's got a hole,
and he's going to
get down very close to the first down. At about the 43, he may be just short.
Just shy, yeah.
About a half a yard, maybe short of the first down. It's worked sometimes.
Yeah,
but
most definitely. And the thing with Trey, if you get him and let him get to the hole, he's going to drop his head, and he's going to make contact with that first guy, and he's going to spin off and pick up another 4 or 5, as we've seen. But he's got to be able to get to that hole first. So we can keep running that play as long as the offensive line will keep blowing that hole open for him.
Let's see if they get it to Reynolds this time. They do right up the middle, and he's going to get the first down and get down to about the 40 and pick up a 3. And another first down for the Dons. Got 8:05 left in the first half. Kelly leading 14-0. The Dons got down there to the 10 a while ago, but gave it up on downs.
Yep.
Ball on the 40-yard line of Kelly.
Well, first down and 10 at the Kelly 40-yard line. Clock stopped it. Now it's running. They got the first down. They had to move the chains. Roberts has went most of the way here in the first half at quarterback. He Rolls out, pitches it to Max Torres, and Torres is going to get down close to the 35-yard line. Another good gain, about 4 or 5 yards on first down.
And that is one of the best runs I've seen out of Max this year. Took contact there and kept pushing. You know, Max has been one to take a hit and kind of try to bounce to the outside or run back, try to get around him. And there he kind of just lowered his shoulder and kept on going there and winds up with a gain of about 5.
I think that's one of the first times that I've seen him run the option this year that the quarterback kept the ball long enough.
Yeah.
He waited till the guy got right up on it.
You're exactly right. The thing with the option, he's got to wait to that very last second to make that pitch.
Quarterback has been getting rid of it too soon. They're going to try it again, but Roberts is going to keep it himself, and he's going to get about 2 or 3. And the Dons are going to be about 4 yards short of the first down. They're going to mark at about the 34.
Let's see it. Kyle Reynolds, what do you think?
If they're going to go for it on fourth down, I'd do it 2 times. I mean, if he don't get it the first time.
Yeah.
That run he had down there in the first quarter a while ago, he just drug tacklers with him.
Yeah.
And he lines up real close to the quarterback. I don't think it would hurt if he was about another step back so he could get a little bit of steam going. But they're in the shotgun. Oh, and a bad snap. Good job by Roberts to pick it up. Passes out to Mills, and he's going to be hit.
Right at the line.
Right at the line of scrimmage. And a bad snap will throw the play off because it took Roberts just a second to pick it up.
Yeah.
And he could have been out there a little bit quicker with that pass. They give him about a half a yard.
They're going to go for it. Yeah, they're going to give him about a yard of 1, or gain of 1 there.
Well, it's fourth down and about a little over 3 yards. And this is going to be the second time the Dons went for it on fourth down. I still would like to see him hand it off to Reynolds.
Yeah, give him 2 shots.
Now he's got to get almost 4 yards.
And they're not going
Roberts
to.
rolls out. He's in trouble. And he throws it with his left hand. And he didn't really have any choice. If he'd went back to the right hand, they would have knocked out of his hand and been a fumble.
Pass incomplete. Deflected by number 17, Drew.
3rd and 4. Run that ball twice with the big guy.
Yep.
And turn it over on downs again. Roberts actually did a nice job there trying to get that away, but it was. They didn't have a chance even if he'd have got it to him.
Well, like you said, he tried throwing left-handed. I think if he just gets that ball and pitches it straight out in front of himself with that left hand.
He couldn't bring it back like
exactly.
Knocked it out of his hand.
And he ended up throwing it behind Torres, but Torres might have picked up a couple yards there had he been able to kind of shovel that pass to him.
If he could have got it in front of him, he might have been able to get a little bit.
Yep.
Worley hands it off to Erhan, and he's
Mills.
tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Good job there. And that was Trey Mills.
Yep, Trey
got that
Mills.
tackle. And that's going to be a loss of a yard or 2.
Erhan, brought down by number 33, Trey Mills.
Erhan is their main ball carrier. We can tell that because I think they only had one other run for anybody else besides him, if I remember right.
Christian Williams had that gain of 13, but he's kind of run in a couple times, but every time he comes in, Worley drops back to pass.
Second down and 11. That was a loss of 1. A tackle for loss for Trey Mills. Worley under center, and I think they left too soon. They didn't know flags. Ball handed off to Erhan, and he gets a couple of yards back up to about the 36. It looked like to me the tight end took off early there, but
a little group effort tackle there by the Dons. See who the stadium announcer gives that first hit to. I'm not exactly sure. Let's see what he has to say. They're going to give it to 49, Thomas Hawks. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing.
It's going to be 3rd down and 8. Another chance to get off the field here. Worley, nobody in the backfield. He's got 5 receivers out, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Worley in the shotgun. Takes a snap, throws it out to the left side, and nice job. Well, Hunter Roberts.
That's exactly right. And if you remember down here on the end, right there at the beginning of the game, when he dropped back to pass, Roberts played too far off the line.
Yeah.
Well, and right there on that play, Roberts did exactly as he was supposed to. As soon as he sees that pass swinging out to the left side, he's got to come up on his man, and he met him before he could even get a gain there. And that's exactly what Hunter's got to do there.
Stopped him 3 yards short, and they're going to go for it here in their own territory. So the Dons could really get a big one here if they stop them here. And they're going to be in the shotgun. Worley standing about the 35. throws it out, and it's caught, and a nice move there. And that is going to be Ty Powers. That was the kicker playing wide receiver. And that's going to move the chains. And, again, they were too far off of them. I mean, you had a 4th and 3, and you're standing 10 yards away from them. That's an easy pitch and catch there.
Right.
He did make a nice move to get around, but if the defense had been up on him, he couldn't even have caught the pass.
Right.
And that's where Worley was looking the whole way. He didn't even look to the other side. The ball at the 45, 1st and 10. We got 4:25 left in the first half. Kelly with a 14-0 lead. Worley going to hand it off. Erhan hitting the backfield. And hanging on there is going to be
I think Tristan Gettings made the
number
25, McGuire
Oh, they're going to give it to McGuire Baca.
Yeah,
Michael
like
Turner's
Thomas Hawks.
Top 48, Thomas Hawks. That's right. I agree. And then I think that gets finished off there by Michael Turner. Comes in with a hard hit.
Hawks got him around the ankles and wouldn't let him go.
Yep.
And they lost a yard on that. Another tackle for loss. Don's still having a hard time getting off the field on 4th down. It's 2nd and 11. And Worley will get under center as the clock winds down to 3:40. And in the backfield, Worley's going to roll out and throw it deep, way down the field, and they pass off the hands. And that was a great throw.
Yeah.
That Landon Haas should have caught that ball. The Dons catch a break there.
If he catches that, he
got behind Trey Mills, and I mean, that ball hit him right in the hands. I mean, he threw that ball, from the 35, 40-yard line down to about the 10.
Yeah.
That's a big arm in high school, around here anyway.
Most definitely. And not only did he cover the distance, but his runner comes right underneath it. You know, he was right there. It was
Didn't
a good
have
play.
to slow down right in stride.
Right in stride. Exactly right.
But
Dons catch
it's
a break.
incomplete.
There you go.
3rd and 11. And we got a timeout call by Kelly with 3:35 left in the first half. And the Hawks lead the Dons 14-0. And Dalton, the Dons have had a couple of chances on offense. They just hadn't been able to cash in.
Right. We've had 2 times been inside the 20, couldn't score. Hopefully we get another chance here in the first half. Doing a decent job moving the football tonight. Trey Mills kind of seems the guy that you're going to repeatedly. The other guys have a couple yards, but Trey's kind of been the big ball carrier for him up to this point.
Well, he's already showed us he can throw the football, and the Dons need to make sure that they get up on the receivers at least 5-6 yards away from him here. I see right now Trey Mills is 13 yards off the wide out here on the right side.
Right.
That's too far. Same way on the other side.
Yeah, Trey needs to come up about 5 or 6 yards right there and mirror him.
Worley back to pass. Got a little time now. He's going to roll out, and he is hit, and he's going to be tackled at the line of scrimmage, and the Dons hold again. And it'll be 4th down and 11. And was that number 51?
That's Michael Turner, I think, wasn't it?
Eli Burke.
Oh, no, they're giving it
51. I thought it was 51.
Okay.
Is that who that is? 51?
Yeah, 51's Eli Burke.
So the Dons flushed him out of the pocket, and he didn't really have anywhere to go.
Well, he doesn't have a tackle on the night, but Alex Harris has flushed him out a couple times. Alex Harris has been nipping at his heels all night long, and so him coming around the corner has flushed him out of the pocket a couple times.
Back to kick for Kelly, number 2, Landon Haas.
Haas is back to punt. He's going to kick it from about the 35, and the ball is off the side of his foot, and it's going to go out of bounds. And again, good field position. That ball looked like it went out about the 35. That's where they're going to mark it, I think.
Right.
No, even farther up than that, maybe.
They're going to get it close to the 40.
Well, the Dons got time here with 2:43, but they're going to have to hurry, especially with the way they run the ball as much as they do. And they've already, they got 2 timeouts left. They've
2
used
timeouts
one,
left.
I believe.
They used one, and Kelly has used one, I believe.
They are going to mark it at the 39-yard line. And then 2:43 to go in the first half. But, hey, I want to tell you, we talked about the last time looking for positive. Don defense has only given up 7 points here.
Yeah, and when I go back and count up this yardage, it's not a whole lot of positive for Kelly. You had the 95-yard return, but other than that, there's not a big
and that was just a mistake.
Here. Exactly.
Just a bad mistake, or it would be 7-0.
So, I mean, it is 14-0, but you'd like to think it's probably 7-0 with the way the Dons defense, or should be 7-0, the way their defense is actually playing. And I'll get some totals here in a minute when we go into the break. But there's not a whole lot of positive for Kelly. So hopefully the Dons can score here.
Hunter Roberts rolls out to the left side, pitches to Mills. Mills is going to be hit and tackled about the line of scrimmage.
Trey Mills, the ball carrier.
And that was strung out by the Kelly defense. They did a good job on that. But again, they're running that ball outside, and they just have not had any luck at all except for that one option play the last time they had the ball. It just has not worked.
Going to be right at it, probably about 2 minutes when they get this snap off.
Now, am I right saying that Kyle Reynolds has only carried the ball that one time?
No, he's carried the ball twice.
Has he?
He's 7 yards, so he's averaging, 3.5.
Well, you do 3.5 3 times, that's a first down.
That's first down, yep.
Hand off to Max Torres, bounces off a tackle, and then he's tackled at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Clock down to 150
I think they're
to
going to
go
down
in the
him
first
even
half.
further. Maybe not. I think he's going to give him a line of scrimmage there.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 10. And that was the first play was an option play. That play was the misdirection play, and they're just not working. I mean, a few of them did with Trey Mills, and that may be because Kelly's a little weaker on this side of their defensive line because it's worked more on this side than it has going to the right.
Well, most definitely.
Or the Dons are getting better blocking on the left side, one or the other. Roberts in the shotgun, fades back to pass, going to have to get rid of it, throws it deep, and the ball is off the hands of Trey Mills. Hey, I like the idea there, though. Throw the ball down the field. If it had been a little bit farther towards the center of the field, he probably would have had a chance catching that.
And I think if Hunter Roberts has got maybe half a second or another second there to kind of plant his feet and throw, it probably makes a better throw there on top of it.
Did he get knocked down after he?
Yeah, he did. He was backpedaling, threw off his back foot.
I think that was number 11 going in there for Kelly that was coming in on him, Alex Swope. So the Dons are going to have to punt. They need to make sure they get a good punt here.
And now a problem that they're going to run into is Kelly's going to have the ball back with probably about a minute with a quarterback that can throw it.
Oh, good punt. Kyle Reynolds gets it down there, and it's going to take a bounce all the way down inside the 20. And I seen him punting in warm-ups, and he was really doing a good job.
19-yard line.
And the Kelly deep man did a bad job. He should have got up there and caught that one. At least done a fair catch. So
I have a feeling here in this drive from Kelly we're going to see the spread. Going to have all guys spread out with a minute left. I think they're just going to try to put another one up on the Dons.
Well, they better watch that deep throw because they should have had one a while ago.
Right, most definitely. Worley, he's only 1 for 4 in passing, but he's hit his receivers in the hands on all 4 throws, I think, except for the one that got deflected by Max Torres. So he's putting it on the money. It's just receivers aren't coming through for him.
He is under center. He's not in the shotgun, but that doesn't mean he's not going to throw the ball. But he fakes a handoff, drops back, rolls out to the right side, being chased, and he's going to run it up just across the 20-yard line. That's going to stop the clock with 56 seconds to go. Don doing a pretty good job there. Jordan White was on number 84 down the field, and they were the only ones out here in the open, and he couldn't get it to. I don't know if that's who he was looking for, but everybody else was up short. They mark it at the 20, so that was just a gain of 1, I think. It looks like to me they got to get to the 29 for a first down. So it's 2nd and 9. This time he's going to line up in the shotgun. Wide receiver right and left. Got a tight end on the left side as well. Drops straight back to pass. Throwing it down the field, and the ball is short. And good coverage by Hunter Roberts.
I think Hunter got pushed off on there a little bit, but they're not going to have a flag come out there.
And he was trying to get it to Haas again. And again, they were the only ones out past probably 10 yards down the field. They're trying to get one-on-one coverage, and they did, but Roberts done a good job there.
And then this may work out in the Dons' favor here. They may run this here just to keep the clock going, or just to get the clock going. But they may turn the ball over here to the Dons.
Unless he's going to run it himself. He has nobody in the backfield.
Right.
3rd and 9. He drops straight back again. Got a hole up the middle. Now he's going to take off running, and he's going to be met at just about the 20-yard line, and another good defensive stand by the Dons. And the clock running with 35 seconds left.
The Dons are going to have a chance to return it here.
I believe I'd have called timeout just to make them punt it. Coach Stout going to let the clock run. can't take them into the second half. You might as well use them.
Yeah.
And now they're going to call a timeout.
They are going to call the timeout, but
after you let almost 20 seconds run off the clock.
Right. He has 2 left there. You would like to see him maybe call one as soon as that pass or as soon as that run.
Yeah, and then throw the ball deep. You might get a pass interference or something.
Or
you never know.
You may get a blocked punt in the backfield, and somebody picks it up, and walks it into the end zone.
Well, you could really go after the punter with no more times left in there, because even if you rough him, they're not going to have but 1 or 2 plays left. I believe I'd go after it now for sure with just 21 seconds. I'd try to block it if I could.
Yeah.
You never know. They might block it and go backwards. And they're going to be fairly close to the end zone anyway, because the line of scrimmage is about the 21, 22-yard line. So he's going to be punting it from about the 10-yard line when he lets it go probably, or just outside the 10.
He's standing on it right now, so I think we'll see what happens.
Devlin Cooper's going to drop back deep.
He's got McGuire Balkum in front of him.
Hawes kicks it, boy, a bad punt. That ball's going to go out of bounds just over the 35-yard line. And he acted like he was he looked like he was lined up straight towards us here to kick it this way.
Kicking for Kelly, number 2.
My wife is texting me telling him she can't find us.
Internet's down.
I'm going to have to text her at halftime and tell her that it's not working.
Right. Yeah, for those of you that are kind of watching the game on the replay, we had every intention of being live, and we had the setup to go live, except when we got here and we had a computer malfunction and we got it turned back on, and when we did, the internet crashed, and it, being our first year, we're trying to iron out some kinks, and hopefully we get it fixed for next week. By the way, next week, if you guys are watching and want to come out, we have a community tailgate that's going to go on, and those parking passes are on sale now, I believe, for $20. So if you're interested in tailgating, you may want to look into that.
Roberts dropped back to pass, and he fumbles the ball. Now he's just going to have to eat it. And that'll probably do it for the first half here, as the clock will run out now. And
I think being backed all the way up at the 50, you just start heading to the locker room, and that looks like what Coach Stout's going to do.
He just dropped that one. That wasn't a bad snap. He just dropped it trying to get in too big a hurry. And that's clock going to wind down the end of the first half. And hey, listen, the Dons are only down 14-0 here. I mean, that's the closest they've been at halftime in any game this year, and it could have very easily been 7-0.
Right.
And a couple times they've been down there close and just couldn't quite get the job done. But, hey, we still got a half to play, and the defense is playing well. So hopefully the second half will, we'll get something going here.
Right.
You want to go ahead and do your stats now, or you want to take our break and then come back a little early and do it, or what do you want to do?
We can go over a couple of them right now.
Right.
Kelly, as far as offensively, is not doing a great job of moving the football. We've had one big run back for that 95 yards. Elvin Ebert ran a punt back that should have been down inside the 5-yard line, but the Dons made a mistake and let Elvin pick that up and is going to run it all the way back for a 95-yard return. But as far as that's concerned, Christian Worley's 1 for 6 passing. He does have a couple scrambles that he's ran for. He's got about 13 yards rushing. And Evan Erhan is kind of the leader for Kelly. This seems like the guy that he goes to repeatedly, and he's got about 35 yards. But over here for the Dons, that's kind of been the Trey Mills story. Trey's at 21, 25, 29, 30, 39 yards rushing. Kyle Reynolds has 7 yards rushing on 2 attempts. That's 3.5 yards a carry. Defensively for the Dons are kind of being led right now by Hunter Roberts and Michael Turner. Got 4 tackles apiece. Tristan Gettings with 2, Jordan White with 1, Trey Mills with 1, Thomas Hawks with 2, and Eli Burke with 1. The Dons have had 2 pretty good returns by Nolan Zerwanka. He had a 17-yard return, and then McGuire Balkum followed him up on the very next possession with a 12-yard return. And as far as stats go, that's really all we got. So
total yards, if you don't care while we're off here, have you already got it figured up?
I've got them kind of figured up. Let's see.
I would say there's probably not a whole lot of difference. I mean, you don't count the kick return on total yards anyway, so I would say there's not a whole lot of difference.
Kelly's at about 100 total, and Doniphan is going to be 3, 5, 25. At about 65, 70. So the Dons are hanging with them. And like you said, the score really probably, in all actuality, should be about 7-0. We had that, once again, going back to it, but that kind of blotched punt return that should have been down inside the 5. But other than that, the Dons are playing good defense. They're holding with Kelly just fine within about 20, 30 yards. I would imagine the time of possession's been about the same. The Dons actually may have had the ball a little bit longer because,
they've
Kelly,
been running the ball.
They've been running the ball, exactly. So we're pretty well balanced, all things here, but our score is a little lopsided in Kelly's favor with 14-0. But we are through the first half, so hopefully we can make adjustments and come out in the second half and compete just a little bit better and maybe have a chance of being in conversation for a win when it's all said and done.
Well, our score is 14-0 at halftime. The Kelly Hawks leading the Dons here at Doniphan, and we're going to take about a 10-minute break or so, and we'll be back to get set up for the second half, and then we'll be back with you shortly.
Yeah, that clock, the quarter ran out.
What was wrong with your
The quarter ran out, and I couldn't, and I hit stop. I didn't hit stop. Here we go again.
Took too many weeks off.
I know it. Yeah, it's a new mandatory rule they put. You get 15 minutes for halftime and a mandatory 3 minutes of exercise.
Well, welcome back, everybody. We're getting close to the start of the second half here. The Dons and the Kelly Hawks here at Doniphan, and right now the Hawks lead it at halftime. We get ready to start the third quarter, 14-0, and the Dons will have the first possession of the third quarter. And probably, even though the Dons did not score in that first half, probably I guess you could say the best half of football they've played so far this season. There have been a couple of games where they've scored and had a couple of opportunities here in the first half, but just couldn't quite get it done. But they'll have another opportunity here as they will receive the second half kickoff. I'm Keith Bowman. Dalton Pennington is alongside, and the Dons, of course, in their first season of high school football in 39 years, started the season 0-5, and Dalton and I have been trying to look for positive points in each and every game, and I definitely think this is the best game they've played so far. And actually, not out of this one yet. If they could, especially if they could score this first time they got the ball here, get a touchdown, it kind of put a little pressure on Kelly. The defense has played well in the first half. Only 7 of those 2 touchdowns came against the defense. The other one was I guess you could say a misplay on a punt that the Dons should have been down inside the Kelly 5-yard line, and they didn't do it. And smart play by their punt returner. Seemed that the whole left side of the field was empty with no Dons players, and he picked it up and run it back about 96 yards, I think, for a touchdown.
Yep.
And that was where the second touchdown came from. And as I said, the Dons played very well on defense. They had several, made Kelly punt the ball, I think, about 4 times, I remember, in that first half. So.
Well, then they had a series where Kelly went for it on 4th down with about 3 to go, and Worley rolled out and made that little 3-4 yard completion, that kind of a little dump off pass, and the Dons were able to kind of stuff them on the very next set of downs. And so, I mean, their defense is doing exactly what it's supposed to. They're making good tackles. We've seen guys kind of square up on some runners coming right at them, and that's kind of something we hadn't seen this year. We've seen a lot of side tackles this year, but it seems like the Dons are wanting to go out and hit somebody tonight. So, defensively, I think we've improved leaps and bounds since the last time we were together. And we've seen a lot more kind of bright spots offensively, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Just as we've said all night long, we need to run that ball north and south.
Yes, yes.
North and south, not east and west. It's hard to get anywhere when you're running the ball across the field instead of towards your end zone.
Right.
We're about ready to get the second half underway. As I said, the Dons will receive the second half kickoff.
Yeah, they deferred on the opening toss. They deferred to Kelly, let Kelly have the ball, and the Dons wanted it to start the second half. And so you kind of like to think from that very beginning, that coin toss, they knew they were going to be in it come the second half, or they probably wouldn't have deferred. So.
Yeah. Well, the Dons are going to be going from right to left here in the third quarter.
Right.
And, of course, Kelly will be going from left to right. Their kicker, Ty Powers, will kick off from the 40-yard line, and McGuire Balcom is deep at about the 10-yard line. He's flanked up close to the 20 by Gavin Thompson and let's see. Keep forgetting. No, Nolan Zerwanka is the 2 up around the 20. So if the kick's shorter, one of those 2 guys will probably take it. So we are set to start the second half. 12 minutes on the clock. Dons trail 14-0 to the Kelly Hawks. And the kick is in the air, and it's over towards Gavin Thompson. Catches at the 20, and he falls down.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Rough break.
One of the officials got run over there by Devlin Cooper and got knocked down. And in high school football and in college, if you go down,
Knee,
you're down.
elbow, yep, anything.
And that was a shame because he got it on up there about another 8-10 yards, so they're going to down it.
Yep.
And with the rain we've had, the field probably is just a little bit slick, but it looks like there hadn't been too much slipping in the first half, but he did slip a little bit. Of course, the dew probably starting to fall a little bit too.
He slipped up and that back knee went down as he was trying to take off, and so it's going to down it. Like you said, all the way back, you got about 1 or 2 yard on the return.
The ball at the 23-yard line of the Dons. Hunter Roberts rolls out, and again, he's going east and west, and he's not going to get anywhere. He might have got a yard, maybe 2, but that has not worked all night long. And he had nobody to option to that time. He was out there all by himself. So I guess that was a designed run for him to run it. But
down by number 40.
The defense of Kelly has done a good job on that when the Dons have run east and west. And every team they've played has. It's just so much easier for them to run you to the sideline.
Right.
They did give him a yard or 2 on that, so I guess it'd be about a 2nd and 8. Roberts hands it off to Max Torres, and he gets hit in the backfield. And that misdirection play is just not working. And that was a loss of about 4. And now it's going to be 3rd down and about 12.
Little gain by Doniphan, brought down by number.
Yeah, they give him the 22, it looks like. He's got to get to the 33, so it'll be 3rd down and 11.
Fitzgerald.
And it makes it so hard when you got 3rd and long every time when you haven't established that you can pass the football. Even though the Dons have thrown it down the field a couple of times tonight, and I'm just glad to see that. They haven't had much luck with it. And the pitch is behind Torres, and it's going to have to be picked up by Hunter Roberts, and he is going to be tackled immediately. So not a good start to the second half for the Dons. He ended up losing yardage, and they'll have to punt. And that was back at the 20-yard line. And that was just a misplay there. He pitched the ball. I don't know if it was behind Max or not, but luckily he was there to pick it up, or they could have got the fumble. A high snap, and a good job by Reynolds to get it off, and the ball goes down the center of the field. I don't know if that touched a Kelly player or not. I guess not. And they're going to say it didn't, and it bounces out to about the 50-yard line, and that was a good job by Reynolds.
A rushed punt that he was able to get off and, kind of move the ball back out of their own end zone a little bit.
Got a 30-yard punt out of it with no return. Yep. Even though they do have it on the Don side of the field, but that was a good job by Kyle Reynolds. That has probably got to be one of the hardest things for the Dons to get down is snapping the ball to a punter, 15 yards behind them.
Yep.
When they're not, just starting football again, that's got to be one of the hardest things to do, find somebody that can do that and do it consistently. Worley is in the shotgun, rolls out to the right, and he looks like he's going to keep it and run with it. And the Dons string it out. Good job there by Max Torres, and he's going to run him out of bounds about the line of scrimmage. And the Dons strung that one out really well. And I believe that's the first time tonight that he's actually tried to run the football. He's rolled out and tried to throw it 2 or 3 times. I think one time he did run it, but it was out of necessity. But that looked like that was a design play that time.
It looked like he kept that right off the snap.
So they mark it at the 49, so it's 2nd down and 10, no gain on the play. Worley's got Erhan on his right. Takes a snap, hands it to Erhan. Goes over on the left side, and he's going to get a couple. And we'll see.
I think it's going to be Thomas Hawks is going to come up. Oh, nope.
Maybe Tristan Gettings.
Tristan Gettings and Michael Turner, I think, said their names quite a few times tonight.
Erhan picked up 2 to the 47, so again, the Dons with another chance, a 3rd and long here to get off the field.
Tristan Gettings, assisted by others.
And Kelly has shown the propensity to throw the ball on 3rd and long here, so Worley is in the shotgun, lined up about 5-6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Takes the snap, drops back one step, gets a pass out to the 45, and a good tackle. Oh, they're going to call a horse collar.
Yep, they're going to say Trey Mills made that tackle up around his head.
It was way short of the first down. Only gained 1 yard on the play, but they're going to call a horse collar, I think, tackle.
Yep.
And that's grabbing them up. That's what they call. Oh, man. That's a shame.
Yeah, that's going to hurt the Dons there because that's going to be 15.
I'm not sure he even needed to do that because he had him right on the sideline.
He grabbed him up around the shoulders, and he had to hold him on the shoulder pads. I think he thought he was going to slip away, but he had help coming.
Yep. I don't think they could have got to the 39-yard line.
No.
Because they were only at the 46-yard line when he caught the ball. So that's going to give them an automatic first down all the way down to the 32-yard line, and that is a big, tough penalty to have to swallow there.
Yeah, like you said, don't know that he needed to do that. He had help coming, and he just wrapped him up. Would have held just a second longer. He had help coming, but he readjusted his grip and kind of came up around the helmet on the backside of those shoulder pads.
And we talked in the first half about the Dons defensive backs playing way off the receivers. He done a nice job getting up there on it quickly. Worley hands it off, and a big hole out on the left side, and cutting down inside the 20, going out of bounds down around the 15. That's a big gain there. That's going to be about a 15, 16-yard gain, I believe.
Yeah.
And that was number 21.
That's going to be
Christian Williams. He was the one that got that.
Oh, well, Williams has 2 runs on the night, and he's got a 13 and a 15.
That's a pretty good average.
Not
I'm surprised he hadn't been in here more than that. Well, the Dons had him stopped, and that penalty gave them the first down, and then they get a big play, and the ball is down to the 15-yard line. First and 10. Worley hands it off. Over on the right side, cutting back through the middle. Erhan, and he's going to take it. He's going to break a couple of tackles, and he gets into the end zone. And that is what I was talking about, the game at Charleston. The Dons had plenty of chances to make the tackle and just didn't do it. And that's what happened there. About 3 guys had a chance to make the tackle, and they didn't get it done. So that penalty was a killer, even though it was kind of a tough penalty to take. But Kelly gets another touchdown from Erhan. That was a 15-yard run, and that ups their lead to 20-0 with the extra point coming by Powers, the soccer-style kicker. Snap a little high. They get it down. His kick is up, and I tell you what, he's pretty accurate with that kick. That's three
right down the middle.
Points, right down the middle. And a good job by the holder there. That was a high snap to get it down. So the Dons had them stopped, and the penalty gave them the first down, and then they had 2 15-yard plays in a row. Actually, a 17 and a 15, I guess, because they had the ball at the 32, but 32 yards in 2 plays after the penalty. And they would have been punting the football or going for it anyway.
Number 25.
So the second half didn't start out like we were hoping.
No. Erhan, we allow him to get his second touchdown. I had 1 in the first and now 1 in the second.
Somebody dropped off some ribs. I bet it's Spencer. Spencer had
9:20 to go here in the third quarter, and the Dons have fallen behind 21-0. And them deferring until the second half to get the kickoff didn't work out as well as we would have liked.
No.
But again, all 3 plays a while ago, the Dons tried to run the ball to the outside, and it doesn't work very well. The kick is deep. Balcom's going to catch it at the 15, right up the middle with it, and he's going to get it out to about the 32, 33-yard line. Pretty good return. Well, the Dons will start there with their second possession of the second half, trailing 21-0.
Williams for Kelly. Bringing up first and 10 for Doniphan.
You don't know who it was.
Ball on the 33-yard line.
Now Don's offense back out on the field.
There's like 2 sides in it.
All right, let's see if we can get something going here.
Max Torres in motion. Roberts roams out the right side, fakes the pitch, and going to take it on up the field to about the 35-yard line or so. Maybe a little past. I thought he was going to get a little more than that, but I think they end up spotting him at about the 36, 37-yard line. It was only a pickup of about 3. I thought it was going to be more than that. And he probably did right by not pitching that, because they might have even intercepted the pitch there.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. We've seen 3 or 4 quarterbacks this year, and Hunter Roberts is really the best one at running that option. He's made a good pitch tonight, and he's made 2 good reads on to keep or should he pitch. If that's something we're going to look forward to.
Roberts is hit by about 5 players, and they
may get a face mask there, I think.
Jerked his helmet off.
Yeah.
I don't know if that. But again, there was nothing but white shirts there. I don't know where all the Don's offensive linemen were.
Gavin Thompson comes in to run quarterback there with it 2nd and 7. And that's going to be a face mask for Kelly. And that should be, well, it's going to be a first down.
Yeah, that'll be a 15-yarder, I'm sure.
I don't think was it a full-on grab, or did he?
Well, they're counting off 15.
Yeah, they are. Okay.
That's going to move the ball up all the way up to the 48-yard line of the Dons, 2 yards from midfield.
So another big penalty going against Kelly. That's their 40th yard worth of penalties that they've picked up this game. That'll make it 1st and 10 for Doniphan.
Yeah, Hunter Roberts is going to check back into the game.
Caitlin Harris checks in.
1st and 10 from the Dons 48. Roberts fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, and he'd have been better off if he'd have handed it off to Kyle Reynolds. He gets tackled in the backfield. That was not a good read there. I don't know if he was supposed to pull that ball out or not.
Yeah.
Reynolds could have got 3 or 4 yards at least there. And they still have not used him running the ball up the middle.
He's got 2 carries, 7 yards, and that's really all we've gone to him.
I mean, it was like Kelly knew he wasn't going to hand that ball off because Reynolds had a little bit of an opening there, and they just smothered Roberts back there. That was a 2-yard loss. 2nd down and 12 from the 46. Roberts fakes the handoff. Now he hands it to Gavin Thompson, a hole up the middle, and he is going to get up over into Kelly territory at about the 46-yard line. That was a good gain there.
Yeah.
That's about an 8-yard gain. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 4.
Kyle Reynolds, let's see it.
Yeah, I mean, because if they don't get it, they're probably going to go for it.
Yeah. Well, like you said,
get part of it, and then if
you're down 21, you're in Kelly territory. It's 3rd and 5. Defense has done a good job of holding them tonight, so let's just take 2 chances here and try to pick up the 1st down.
And they do hand it off up the middle. There he goes.
There he goes.
That's the first.
Yeah.
Oh, piling on right there. Come on.
And he got it all the way down to the 38-yard line. That was an 8-yard gain.
Was that Kyle?
Yep, Kyle Reynolds gets the 1st down as he picks up 8. The Dons' first down on this drive came from a penalty. And here they get this one on an 8-yard run from Kyle Reynolds.
I love the way that kid runs.
Oh, I do too.
Just a bull.
It takes 3 or 4 guys to bring him down every time.
And then when they get 3 or 4 on him, he drags that pile another 2 or 3 yards. That's what I really like. He just keeps those feet going, and you've just got to smother him in the dirt in order to get him stopped. And I just like that.
Roberts hands it off to Gavin Thompson, and he is hit and stacked up.
Gonna be
maybe a yard loss there.
I think so.
And Thompson is a small guy, and it's hard to run a small guy up the middle unless there's holes there for him to get through. I think spot him at the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Number 43.
6 minutes and 5 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Don's trailing 21-0. And they're driving here. They've got a couple of 1st downs on this drive. One was aided with a penalty, but
any way we can get them, right?
Yeah, we'll take them.
Yeah.
Roberts hands it off this time to Reynolds, and
I think Roberts kept it there. Roberts is the one hopping up with the ball there. I think he – nope. That is Reynolds. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yep. He did get a couple, but again, it took a bunch of guys to bring him down. Yeah. So we got looking at a 3rd down and about 9 yards, I believe. So what do you think here, Dalton? You know they're going to go for it if they don't get it, so they need to get at least part of it.
Yeah.
To give them a little better shot at getting it, because, again, not been able to throw the ball with any consistency. Hand off to Mills. They're going to try that trick play. Throws the ball down the field, and it's going to be intercepted. Way short of the receiver.
Interception.
And it's going to be intercepted about the 26-yard line. And
Interception.
the number 6 that got that.
For Kelly.
Gavin
Ball over
Hudson.
to Kelly now. 1st and 10. Ball on
Those are
the
good plays if they work, but if it doesn't look so good. Oh, Kelly will take over at the 26-yard line on their own 26. They have had Christian Worley in at quarterback the entire game. He's going to hand it off to Erhan. Cuts through, gets a good block there from number 81, Gavin Childers.
And
gets the ball up 5. About the mark it at the 32.
Well, actually, it's going to be a little bit
Be a
shorter.
6-yard gain.
6 yard, yeah.
That'll make 2nd and 4.
Bring it up.
Again, the Dons got a hand on him about a yard
Yeah.
after a yard gain, but they couldn't bring him down.
He put a good move on Max Torres. Max kind of squares up on him, and he just kind of jukes around Max, fakes him out.
He runs the ball pretty good.
Yes, he does. Do you have what grade he is in? What? By any
No,
chance?
it's not
grades?
on here. 2nd down and 4. Worley's going to hand it to Erhan again, and this time he breaks to the outside, cuts it back into the middle, crosses the 50-yard line, or the 45-yard line, excuse me, and is tackled at the 46 by Max Torres, and that'll be a 1st down for the Kelly Hawks.
Gain of about 14 there for Erhan. That's his second 14-yard carry in the second half.
He's going to check out of the game, so that will bring
Williamson in. Is it Christian Williamson?
Christian
Is that right?
Williams.
Yeah. Williams.
Yeah, Kelly's looking for their 4th win of the season here tonight.
This guy is offside. His hands
Oh, the running back fell down, and the Dons kind of catch a bad break there as Worley didn't have any place to go with it and just run it out to the left side, and he picked up about 5 or 6 yards. The running back slipped and fell.
Yeah, he turned around, and his running back was on the ground, so he just had to roll out and keep on going.
Pretty good gain for
Not bad.
a play like that.
Yep. A lot of times those busted plays like that, when something goes wrong, normally you eat 5 or 6 yards there.
You know, Worley's a pretty good athlete,
Yes.
you can tell. He's
You
a
called
pretty
him in
good-sized
basketball,
kid. He's
anybody
tall.
thinks? Yeah.
I don't recognize the name, but I haven't seen the Kelly basketball team play in a while.
He's an athlete, that's for sure.
Their girls always play in the Twin Rivers Christmas tournament.
Yes.
There's a handoff and stopped with no gain, I believe, that time.
Yep.
And that is Williams.
Seems like we always draw Kelly in the first round of that tournament over there at Twin Rivers.
Little gain on the play. Bringing up 3rd and 5 for Kelly.
Had a decent crowd, decent turnout tonight. Stands were a little empty right there at kickoff, but they filled in pretty quick. We've got kind of a full crowd over there.
Yeah, that's what I was talking a while ago at halftime to Matt about that. And yeah, it looked like that there wasn't going to be too big a crowd, but it's almost full over there now.
Yep.
So 3rd down and 5 yards for a 1st down right at midfield for Kelly. Worley fakes the handoff, drops back to pass, throws it deep, and a man wide open. And it's going to be a touchdown for Hawes, and that time he didn't drop it. And Kelly, 50-yard touchdown pass from Worley to Hawes. And that makes it 27-0, pending the extra point. That time the Dons let him get behind him, and he was wide open that time.
Yep.
He had 4 or 5 yards on anybody that time.
Right, most definitely. He's only has 3 completions on the night, but he's hit every single one of his guys in the hands except the one that we talked about earlier with Max Torres batting down over there. I mean, he's on the money. He's a quarterback. He's a good kid, a good athlete.
Powers to try the extra point. And it's up and looks good again.
Right down the middle.
And it is 28-0 in favor of Kelly. The Dons held them to 14 in the first half, but they have got 14 in less than 10 minutes here in the 3rd quarter and have opened up a 28-0 lead.
Kelly 28.
The third quarter, we
Doniphan 0.
thought with them only being down by 2 touchdowns, the Dons might come out with a little fire in their eyes, but it hadn't worked out that way so far. Even though the last time they had the ball, they drove it down the field a little bit, but once they get into their territory, start knocking on the door down there, they make a mistake somewhere.
Yep.
And
McGuire, Malcolm.
last time it was the interception on the trick play.
Then the kicking honors for Kelly will be
Powers
number
will kick it
1,
off again.
Powers.
2:49 to go in the third, and it is 28-0.
Maybe we'll get a little run back right here. Get us going.
Well, that one JV game I did last year, can't remember if it was Kennett or East Prairie. I'd done both those games. Balcom run one back 80 yards for a touchdown on kickoff.
Right. We, matter of fact, while we're on the subject of JV, they've won some games here since the last time we've been on the radio. They got
that's
2
what
wins.
I've been hearing.
Junior high has a win in there, picking up some wins for the football program. Varsity's still looking for their first one, but that's it.
An onside kick. And the Don, what? They didn't get on the ball.
Onside kick by Kelly.
Oh, that's frustrating.
That's got to drive Coach Stout crazy. They just let it roll. The defense don't have to let it roll 10 yards. The offense does. Now
I think our kid's backed up there.
First and 10
yeah, one of the Dons, I don't know who it was, could have fell on it.
on the
And he stood there and looked at it.
Well, let me ask you a question. 28-0, why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
To me, that
I agree.
That play doesn't make any sense to me. You're up 28-0, 2 minutes left, 3 minutes left in the third quarter.
You'd think you'd want to let your defense work on their defense instead of getting the ball back and trying to rub it in somebody's face a little bit.
Right. To me, that doesn't make any sense. I'm not a fan of that one.
But even at that, the Dons got to know better than that. They got to fall on that ball.
You're right. That's no excuse for.
But I agree with you 100%.
But
But that's almost the same thing. They kind of run away from the ball. Erhan gets it again, and Max Torres and Michael Turner's going to bring him down. Actually, maybe for a loss. I don't know if they'll get
I think they're going to give him forward progress there. I think they're going to give it to him in about a 1 yard gain.
Max had a hold of his shirt there and was stretching it out. And then Michael Turner come in and help him clean it up. And we got a timeout called by the Dons.
Second and 10. Timeout, Doniphan.
Hey, better get him out of here.
2:31 to go in the third quarter.
I guess we can talk about it now since we're kind of in a timeout break here. We're being teased with ribs. Have you heard that conversation going on?
Somebody
next to
trying
us?
to pawn them off.
Well, they keep eating them and just rubbing it in their
it smells
face.
terrible.
They get a couple sides of ribs get dropped in here in the press box, and they got the guys next to us running the clock, not doing anything, and he's just chowing down on ribs.
Now they're sitting within arm's length.
And now they're right here. If you go silent, I'll pick up, and we'll just take turns. Man, there's a whole side left in here. It feels like. Yeah, they smell. Yeah, they just smell. Like you said, absolutely.
I can smell them for the last, ever since halftime.
Right. As soon as they made their way in here, I don't know who these came from, but appreciate whoever it was.
And we're almost like professional announcers that get, like the Cardinal announcers.
Yeah, that's right.
Stuff brought to them,
Well, that's one of my favorite things when they, about the 6th or 7th inning, they got some weird cuisine from the ballpark, and we're going big time here.
And ball thrown down the middle. And it's intercepted. And that's Jordan White with the interception. Nice job stepping in front there. And that was a bullet from Worley. And it looked like it was going to be complete, but the ball must have been a little bit behind.
I got a flag coming in. I'm not quite sure on who. The ref's looking at a player from Kelly. I'm hoping one of our kids didn't.
Well, they're telling the Don's offense to not come on the field, so that doesn't sound good. Well, now they are coming out, aren't they?
I think he's got there's another flag down over here, too. I don't know if we're trying to figure out.
Well, I don't get this. The referee's out here by himself, and all the other holding.
Oh, the holding. Okay, so they're going to decline that anyway. Okay.
Dead ball, personal foul. Okay, that must have been after the interception. They're going
to negate. Okay.
So it will be Don's ball on the interception right where they tackled
All right, so just for those of you watching at home, what happened there on the play, there was a holding call that was made. And since the Dons picked up the interception, they're just going to decline that penalty. They're not going to give the ball back to Kelly, so they're going to keep the ball. But then in the process of this line judge over here on the 40 threw a flag out into the middle of the field, right in between a Doniphan and a Kelly player. So I guess they tied up there, and they had offsetting penalties, and they're just going to negate each other. And so it's going to be the Dons' ball on about the 41-yard line.
But that was a nice play by Jordan White. I mean, he just stepped in there like the ball was being thrown to him. And now Kelly's going to call a timeout.
Yep.
Place that ball and blow the whistle, man. They gave them a chance. They had him.
So that was I want to tell you what, that Worley kid can throw the football because that was a bullet.
That was a
down
bullet.
The field.
Well, and then the thing is, we had two guys bumping shoulders there trying to make that play, and Jordan White, in the process of that, just steps up. And, I mean, he just makes the play.
Like he was playing free safety.
Yeah,
he was actually behind the play a little bit.
Exactly. So I would like to think maybe Doniphan defender, I'm not sure who was covering the receiver there, would have got a hand on that ball anyway, but it didn't matter because Jordan White kind of steps up and cuts that ball, comes to the ball, and cuts that off.
Anyway, it was a big play for the Dons.
Most definitely, yeah.
Because if that was complete, you never know, it might have been another 6 points. So the Dons will have it at the 39-yard line, at their own 39, 1st and 10. Handoff to, I can't tell.
I'm saying the way the pile's rolling, that's Kyle Reynolds, is it? Nope, no, it's going to be Trey Mills.
That's
okay.
That's
also
play
understandable,
again,
yeah.
Misdirection play. And that's the one that has worked several times tonight. And it worked again. They got almost about 6 yards on that play. Once they hand it off, if I don't see the number before they give it to them,
you got to wait till that pile clears.
11 guys around them there.
That's going to be Trey Mills' first carry in the second half. He's going to pick up 6 yards on it.
2nd and 4, ball at the 45-yard line. Hand it off to Max Torres. He gets outside this time, and it looked like he had some running room, but quickly Kelly recovers there and knocks him down for about a maybe a 2-yard gain. Yeah, they're only going to give him about a yard.
One, yeah.
It looked like he had some room there, but again, they're running that ball to the outside, and they just string it out, and he's running too much across the field instead of up the field.
Well, and a thing that we haven't really talked about, Max on the basketball court so fast.
Yep.
And, it's just a different kind of athlete to come out and play football. It's just different.
They hand it off to Reynolds this time, and he's going to bull his way up and probably going to be right at the first down marker. It looks like they're going to mark him right at midfield, and if that's the case, that should be a first down.
Yep, and they're
moving the chains.
So, yeah, it's going to be a first down. So a gain of, 4 or 5 for Kyle there?
It was at the 46, I believe, so it was about a 4-yard gain.
4-yard gain, okay.
They, I think I'd hand it to him about 3 or 4 times in a row just see what he could do because I'm almost betting you he's moving the chains after at least the 3rd run.
Right. Well, so, his carries in the first were 4 and 3 yards, and then we have 8, 3, and 4. So looks like he's good for 3.
Yeah.
And as we've talked about, if you chip away 3 at a time, you're going to be moving the chains an awful lot.
They've been going for it at least on Kelly's end of the field every time they get a 4th down.
Right.
So if he does it 4 times, 3 yards, that's a first down. So, and if he averages 3.5, that's first down in 3 plays. So. Yeah, 55 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Kelly leading 28-0. Dons have the ball at midfield, 1st and 10. Roberts hands it to Mills. Same play again, and he's going to be tackled at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I think that may do it for the first. Well, no, we're going to have because it's 25 for the play clock.
Going to get one more play off here if it's a run and the clock keeps running.
Clock will keep running, but
maybe not. They haven't started
okay, yeah, we're going to be about 1 second difference, so the Dons are going to have to make another play here in the 3rd quarter. And I'm hoping they've recognized that because, okay, here they come. Got about 14 left on the play clock.
They give him about a half a yard gain on that. Roberts hands it off. And Mills again, this time kind of a little more straightforward, but he only gets a couple of yards.
Got
And
tripped
that's
up in
going
the
to be the
backfield a
last
little
play
bit.
of the third quarter, and that was a good quarter for Kelly as they had 2 touchdowns to their score in that quarter. They had 14 at halftime. They get 14 in the third, and they lead at 28-0 at the end of the third quarter. It'll be Don's ball. They'll have about a 3rd and 7 coming up, and they'll switch ends of the field to start this fourth quarter.
All right, we're looking for positive. So what was our positive there in the third quarter?
The interception, maybe?
The interception? Okay.
And they run the ball a
Was
few
that our
times
second
pretty
interception
good,
of the
but-
year, or is that the first one?
Huh?
Is that the first or second interception?
First one I remember.
That's the first one I remember, too.
They could have had a couple more earlier in this game.
Yeah, Torres, I don't know if he was just so worried about batting that ball down, but with Max, the way he jumps, he gets up, and it seems like it hits him in the hands, and he just swats it straight down.
Well, Trey Mills had one, too.
And hit off his hands, yeah.
He should have intercepted
Right.
it, but he probably wasn't expecting it coming to him. But they did. I mean, they run the ball okay. They just kind of self-destruct when they get close to the other team's end zone.
Right.
And they've done that in other games, too. I mean, not just tonight. But, the score is 28-0, and that's better than it's been at the end of the third quarter of most of the other games. So
a lot of times we're seeing teams JV players coming up right here at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Or the clock's on and it's going to run, and, so there's a positive in itself.
3rd and 7. Roberts hands it off in the backfield and tackle back behind the well, that was about a 5-yard loss, and that was Max Torres.
Now they're going to give him forward progress.
They're going to put him up almost to midfield, but that's going to make it fourth down.
Yeah.
Don's probably going to punt here, I would say, at midfield. I don't know if Roberts came out or not. It's 4th and 11. You'd think if being at midfield they would.
Well, Kyle Reynolds has been doing the punting for him tonight.
He stayed in the game, but I don't know. Well, they're taking an awful lot of time here. And it acts like to me they don't know, again, what they're going to do here. But they're going to have to hurry. They're down to 9 seconds. They're going to do that short punt again. And it's going to do a good job again. So somebody got to get down there and touch it this time. And Cooper finally does. I'm beginning to wonder if he was going to. He got a good roll down to the 10-yard line.
Another good punt from Reynolds.
He does pretty good on that. Now, they got a couple guys that got fairly close to blocking that one, but that's always an
issue that we've seen.
Yeah, when you're up close like that, when you're punting that not 15 yards behind the line, your offensive line has got to block a little bit better.
So let me ask you, why is Kyle doing that, you think?
I'm wondering if it's because they don't have a guy that they think that can
get it
snap it back there consistently where they'll get a good snap.
That has been an issue. Snapping that long snap back to the punter, that 15-yard snap. We've had some guys having trouble making that accurately. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a possibility.
I don't know if that's why they're doing it, but, I mean, it makes it a little easier because they're only about 8 or 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage there. Handoff up the middle, and a couple yards there for
that Erhan is
number 81.
81.
I think that's his first carry of the night. Gavin Childers. He got about 2 yards on that. The ball was – the line of scrimmage was the 10. He got it out to about the 12, so it's going to be 2nd and 8. This would be a good spot for the Dons defense to rise up and stop them here, and they should be able to end up in pretty good field position after a punt. They got to stop them first. Worley under center. Goes back, hands it off, and that is going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
It's going to be Michael Turner.
I'll tell you what, he just does a pretty good job in there on that defensive line.
Yeah, he's an animal.
And that was, I guess that was Erhan again, wasn't it?
Yes. And that's
back at the 10-yard line, so he lost 2 yards that they gained the play before, so it's going to be 3rd and 10.
And, of course, you haven't seen a lot of these kids, but I had Michael when he was a freshman in high school. And, we talk about the benefits, of all these athletes that football is going to bring. Michael, just his strength and size, he's just gotten so much bigger and stronger here in the last couple years.
Worley rolls out to the right side looking to pass. He's got number 16 wide open. He makes the catch, but I think he's going to be they call it incomplete. Knocked away there by Gavin Thompson right at the last second, and that's going to force Kelly to punt. Good defensive stand by the Dons. They actually gained no yards on that that series because they gained 2 and then they lost 2.
Right.
So.
And I'm going to come back to a point about Michael here in a second. We kind of get this change of possession right here.
Well, Hawes is going to be punting from just about his goal line when he actually he's only standing 10 yards back. He's right on the goal line, isn't he?
Yep.
He's up a little closer too. And the punt goes up over on the right side, and it gets a good bounce. And, again, the Dons are not close enough to it to get it there. I know it was a little bit of a short punt, but you're better off if you know you can't field it to let it go.
Right.
But they still got good field position. They'll start at Kelly 48. Go ahead, Dalton.
Yeah, and that point about Michael that I was talking about, just that he's gotten so much bigger in a year's time. And, we're always kind of looking for those positives. And the positive thing is the guys that we're seeing out on this varsity field, this is their first year of varsity football. And we've got guys like Alex Harris, Kyle Reynolds that are going to come back for another year. I got Tristan Gettings coming back for another year. And, every snap, as long as they'll stick with it, as long as they can grind out, this first year and the struggles that are going to come with that, these guys are going to be pretty good when it's all said and done.
Well, we've talked about it ever since the first game of the season. It's going to take a little while.
It is.
And
it's going to be a keeper by Gavin Thompson. He's going to
get
a big
hole on the right
He's got
side.
another one. Oh, gets tripped up. That was a good run by Thompson.
Almost got a first down. Yeah, about a yard short.
He's going to come back.
They finally got one on the outside.
Yeah, there you go. And there was a huge hole there. I think you could have drove a school bus through it. So that needs to be their goal. They're going to spot it a little bit further back, though. I think that's only going to be a gain of about 7.5 for Gavin.
Ball on the 40-yard line.
Actually, I think it's 8.5, isn't it? Because they got to get to the
8.5. Yeah, okay.
2 for Doniphan.
I was looking at the spotter over there on the sideline across from us.
Thompson's still in there. He's going to take off to the left side, and he kind of backs his way down inside the 40, but I don't think he got far enough.
The ball carrier for Doniphan.
Hopefully.
It's just hard for a guy his size to be able to get through there without some excellent blocking, and they're going to be about a yard short. Going to be 3rd and 1. Hunter Roberts is going to come back in. Devlin Cooper also coming in. And we'll see if Kyle Reynolds gets his hands on the ball again here. 3rd and 1. Yeah, they did do a quarterback sneak, and they're going to get the first.
Oh, and
holy
hey, he busts all the way out of that pile. Wow.
How did he do that?
He got in the back pocket of his lineman, and they just blew all the way through that Kelly defense.
That was a 10-yard gain.
That was a 10-yard gain on a ball that gets stuffed at the line, and he just blows through and kind of stumbles his way for about a 10-yard gain.
Well, sure would like to see the Dons get that ball in the end zone here at least one time here.
Yeah.
Clock running at 7:55 to go in the game. They trail 28-0.
Hunter Roberts is going to stay in at quarterback.
Hands it to Trey Mills. That misdirection play. He gets outside, and he's going to pick up probably 4 or 5 yards there. We'll see where they spot it. And he goes out of bounds, so that'll stop the clock. And they're going to mark it right at the 25, so that was a 5-yard gain. Well, 4 yards, I guess. 4-yard gain.
Gain on the play, bringing up 2nd down and 5.
Mills has got to be up there probably over 50 yards rushing now, doesn't he?
He's going to be pretty close. He finished
on the 35-yard line.
He's got 35 there in the first half, and that's going to be 43. Yeah, he's right at 50. 50 on the button.
2nd and 6. Roberts pitches. Max Torres hit, gets away from it, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, but he did good to do that because he could have lost about 4 yards. He bounced off that first tackler.
Initial hit by number 43. Lewis Loveland.
Ball marked at the 25-yard line. That's going to bring up a 3rd and about 6.
Kyle Reynolds in the backfield.
He got in the shotgun, though. They hadn't.
Okay, we got to stop the clock.
They got Gavin Thompson at quarterback here, and he's in the shotgun. So they haven't run out of the shotgun other than the quarterback keeper. And that's what he's going to do. Gets around one man, but he can't shake the second one. And Kyle Reynolds missed a block there, but I don't think he would have got anywhere anyway.
Number 2, Gavin Thompson, the ball carrier for Doniphan.
That's going to bring up a fourth down. Well, you know they're going to go for it with what time we got left in the game here. But they actually lost a couple of yards on that.
Kelly.
That's going to make about a 3rd and 8 now.
Bringing up 4th down and 8 for Doniphan.
Yeah, what are we going to do now, Dalton?
4th and 8.
Going to be hard to run it for that much.
Yeah.
Roberts is back in the game at quarterback.
A
low snap. He picks it up, gets away from one tackler, then he falls down. And that's the second time on 4th down that they were going for it, that they have not handled the snap right or had a bad pitch, one or the other. And the Dons turn it over on downs.
Yep.
I mean, I know this is the first year, but sooner or later they've got to start cleaning up those kind of mistakes. Those are ones that can be helped. I mean, that didn't look like, was that a bad snap?
It was low. Was it low? It looked like it skipped right in front of him, about a yard in front of him. It came up.
1, 2, 7.
6:36 left to go in the game as Kelly will take over. And they'll take over at the 33-yard line. Worley hands it off. And that is Erhan again. He's going to get up to about the 36-yard line and hit hard there.
Who's that number 11 for us?
Alex Harris.
Alex Harris. Well, is that Harris 11?
I thought he was number 30, but I thought I heard him say when they introduced the starting lineups that they had number 11 on him.
I don't think so. There's no Harris is not.
We don't have a number 11 on the original roster that I got, so I thought he was number 30 to begin with.
I think that is Alex. Yeah, that is Harris.
Second down and about 7. Worley taking his time, letting some of the time run off the clock. Hands it off. And there's Erhan again. And the Dons do a nice job gang tackling over there on the right side. Erhan stays in bounds, keep the clock running with 5:40. And he only got about a yard on that play.
Right.
That's actually, he might have lost there because I think it's like 3rd and 7 now. He got to get out to the 44, and he's about the 37. So, I tell you what, Kelly, quarterback's doing a pretty nice job here, taking his time and letting that clock run down before he snaps the ball. Seemed like a pretty intelligent kid out there.
Yeah.
Worley, pass out in the flat. And that is Hawes, and he slips a tackle. I don't know who missed a tackle there for the Dons. I think that was Devlin Cooper. Had him and let him get away, and he ends up getting the first down as he gains about 12 yards on the play. I believe that might have been a lateral. That looked like he might have passed that backwards. If it wasn't, it was awful close. There you go again. Don's defense was playing off so far there that was an easy pitch and catch.
Looks like this kid lined up here on the end for Kelly's lined up off sides, it looks like.
That line judge is standing right there. Y'all be able to see it.
Yeah.
And Williams is going to take the handoff, and good defense there by the Dons as they're going to tackle him for about a 4-yard loss. Well, they're going to give him forward progress a little farther than that, but about a 2-yard loss.
Yep.
Stopped by Alonzo Reyes, number 17, and assisted by other Doniphan players.
They spotted at the 46, so it's about almost a 3-yard loss. 4 minutes and 5 seconds left in the ball game. Dons trail 28-0. Worley comes up under center, looking around, letting that clock run down the play clock was down to about 3. Hands it off to Erhan again. Williams, and he gets it up to the almost the 50, back to about the original line of scrimmage.
Number 21, the ball carrier.
And he's running that play clock almost down to 0 before he's hiking the ball.
4.
I don't know if the coach is telling him to do that or he's doing it on his own, but he's doing a pretty good job of it.
How tall do you think he is? 6'1"?
I'd say every bit of that.
6'2", maybe.
He's pretty tall.
Yeah. Well-built kid. Got an arm. Got a cannon for an arm.
3rd down and 10. Throws that pass out again. Same play as they run a while ago, and the Dons are going to stop it this time before they get the first down.
Complete to number 2.
That was Haas, and he slipped a little bit about the time he got hit there, but don't think he was going to get the first down anyway.
That's Alex Harris's 4th tackle on this drive alone.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, on this drive alone, yeah.
Let's see, look like they're trying to make up their mind if they're going to go for it here. Actually, they may be going to call a timeout. I don't know, because coach is talking to one of his players, but Worley's still out on the field, and the clock running down to time. Play clock down to 7.
Alex Harris making the stop for Doniphan, number 11.
And then they're going to take the penalty. I guess they are. Yeah, they threw the flag. Or did somebody call a timeout? The back judge down there threw the flag.
Now is the time to call them. They'll be here at the end of the game to pick you up.
They're going to call it delay a game.
Yep.
So they're going to take the 5-yard penalty and then punt the ball. So they're playing this like a college or a pro team here, running that clock down. And
well, and what you're talking about there for our fans at home, because we're new as a community. Most of the time when they do that, when it's that close to the 50, obviously they're not in field goal range, too far to go for it. But what they do and take that penalty is back it up 5 yards. That way their punter has a little bit of cushion instead of kicking into the end zone, which then would bring the ball out to the 20. So they're trying to pin the Dons back as far as they can.
And run some time off the clock as well. Now they fumbled the snap, and the Dons are going to get it at about the 35-yard line.
And they're going to make them pay for that.
Haas just dropped the ball. That wasn't that bad a snap.
Yeah.
So the Dons have got 2 minutes and 3 seconds, 35 yards away from their end zone.
Number 11.
Need a touchdown.
That score sure would look a lot better 28-7 than 28-0.
Yep.
Because they've been shut out a couple of times already. The Charleston game's on when they've been shut out, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Did they score last week at Dexter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, and
one, had a touchdown.
Yeah. First and 10 for Doniphan.
I was trying to watch that game on your hometown channel, and my internet kept messing up. It kept freezing up on me. So Roberts rolls over to the left side, pitches it out, and tackled in the backfield. Mills again, and again that play was busted from the start.
Yeah.
Well, I think he bobbled it a little bit.
And on that, we talked about Hunter's doing a pretty good job for the most part tonight reading that option. But there, obviously, he probably doesn't want to take that hit, but he pitches it 3 yards backwards, and there's Kelly defenders right in the face of Trey Mills. So we're actually losing yardage there as if Hunter just would have went down, and we would have taken the 2-yard loss. Now we're at about 5 yards
they lost
total.
About 5,
exactly.
Yeah.
So Hunter's, that's one of those plays where he's got to read that, because Mills probably isn't going to break those 2 tackles out.
He'd have been better off just going down himself.
Exactly.
That clock's down to 1:18 now.
And Trey Mills
trying to do that play again where they hand it off and throw it, and that throw is way short of the receiver. And one of the Kelly players come up a little lame there that was in back near the quarterback. And he looks like he's going to stay in the game. That stops the clock with 1:10 left to play in the game. And it is 3rd and 15. How many passes do you think Roberts has attempted tonight at quarterback? I think Mills has attempted more passes than he has on that play right there.
I think Hunter has thrown it once, Gavin has thrown it once, and Mills has thrown it 3 times.
3 times.
I think so, yeah.
Roberts is going to throw it this time. Well, no, he's not, and he gets hit and he fumbles it. And Kelly's going to get it right back and gain about 15 yards on the turnover. Wow, he was way back there when he was getting ready to throw the ball. It seemed like he dropped way too far back. So with a minute to go, minute and 2 seconds, Kelly's going to get it back, and I'm sure here the way they've been running the clock down, they'll probably only run a couple of plays and we'll be
headed home.
We'll be headed home.
Well, I think right there, maybe if we had a little bit of replay, was Hunter's arm maybe coming forward there when he got hit. Maybe. I mean, obviously, high school years, no replay.
He was getting ready to throw it. There's no doubt about that. But
because that ball seemed like it came out pretty easy, as if maybe that arm was going forward and it just kind of popped out on him.
And they're just going to take a knee here, which goes back to earlier when we talked about them.
The onside kick.
The onside kick with a 21-0 lead or whatever it was.
You know, and I got to thinking about that as I walked across the field. That right there when I was thinking, I was like, well, maybe at 21. Maybe they're just trying to work on something. That's not it's not a blowout. And that's something that they're going to have to do
that later on in the season, and they might not have had a chance to do it. They just wanted to try it. Of course, if the Dons would have done it right, it wouldn't have worked.
Well, they just had to fall on it. Yeah, just come up. They don't have, like you said, don't have to let that travel.
Well, that's going to do it. We're down to 20 seconds, and that's going to be the ball game. The Dons are going to drop this from 28-0. Dalton, they did lose here tonight. Closest game they've had so far.
Yep.
But still not able to get on that scoreboard.
Right.
It's hard to get any confidence up if you don't get any points on the board.
Yeah. And we're defensively, I think this is the best defensive game we played.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Kelly's offense probably isn't as great as some of the ones we have seen, but they did a lot of things right. It's not a matter of, what they were going up against. They went through the process correctly. And so that is a good sign to see that we're doing things correctly. Offensively, though, we're, like you said, it's still kind of trying to fill that out, trying to figure out what we need to do to move the football a little bit better.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there was some plays that looked pretty good and some didn't, but we've got to be patient. We've been saying that ever since we started, and we're going to be saying it till the end of the game, and probably maybe even next year we may be saying it.
And like you said, the next year we'll still be playing with kids that haven't played football. They're still missing a year, a gap in there where they didn't get to play, and so. The year after that, it's going to be a learning curve from, now to this point forward from the very beginning to the next couple years.
But they do have to keep improving every game.
Every game, exactly.
Getting better. And
I think overall we have seen that. I think there's been improvement.
No doubt about that. But anyway, our final score, 28-0. The Kelly Hawks defeat the Dons, and we'll be right back here next Friday night.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll get the internet connection lined out. We'll be live for you. We thought we were going to be tonight, but it just didn't work out, and hopefully we'll be able to get that up next week going. So.
Yeah, and before we sign off, I do want to say one thing. Next week we have it's a community tailgate. It's with a lot of the schools. It's college and career readiness week at the school. And so a lot of the clubs are going to set up in the back parking lot, set up tailgate spots. That is open to the community. Some of the booths will be giving food away for free. Some will be selling what they have. So if you don't have anything going on Friday before the game, that's going to start at about 3:30 right after school. And we're just going to have a kind of a pep rally type thing and then head out into the parking lot. And so it'll be full of people, hopefully at about 3:30 all the way up until game time, and then we'll come over here to the stadium. So if you don't have anything to do around 3:30, come on out and join us in the back parking lot at Doniphan High School.
And the Dons will be playing the Chaffee Red Devils.
Yes.
Next week. So.
And then the week after that is homecoming. So have those two games coming up for us.
Well, this was game number 6, so we have 3 games left in the season. Yep. I believe we have one road game at Fredericktown, I believe.
Yes.
Is the other 2 more home games and one road game.
Correct.
So, well, anyway, that's going to wrap it up for Dalton and me tonight. Glad that you joined us, and hope that you'll join us next week.
Yep.